As a child, everything used to make sense. Life used to make sense. Everything used to have so much more meaning. Every moment used to be filled with... well, it just used to be filled. A given moment filled with color and sound used to be saturated to its fullest capacity. It used to be beautiful. I used to never think about how beautiful or amazing the world is because it was always just so obvious. But then, there was one moment. One moment everything escalated so quickly and the colors became so bright and the sound became so sharp that everything exploded. And I was pushed out of the narrow reality that I once lived in into life. Into seeing the multiverse of what our universe actually is. How each different thing has its own reality. The fallout of this explosion was wonder and the ash settled into beauty, but once the air cleared, I was left sitting at fires wishing that they held more color than they did, wishing that the music blasting behind me could penetrate my skull and become my thoughts. But it was all so surface. Moments lost their existence and became memories immediately, even before they happened. The magic of the worlds before that wonderful Armageddon of childhood was gone. And I tried desperately to get it back. I planned scenes in my head and told people where to stand and painted the night before me. But that's the thing about creating something. You know it completely, in and out. You know the science of it, and the knowledge takes away the beauty from those moments, from your creation. But then, every once in a while, the events of my day made plans without me. And hands fumbled against mine, and friends found each other, and the sun rose even though it was not planned to, and the beauty of everything returned. We could stand around and look at the day and remember the innocent times before, and chose not to care about all the details that distracted us now. And then we played, and we danced, and celebrated our existence in the moment, because even though that is cheesy, can you really do anything else? What else is more the essence of happiness and enjoyment than finding beauty in the reality that you live in, no matter what the reality is? And of course, we go back from that day, back to worrying. Of course, we go back to the details of reality. Back to the responsibilities that we hold to others and the responsibilities that we hold to ourselves. We go back to planning and acting and trying our best to be real about fake things. We go back to worrying about how little knowledge we have on the topic of life. But we must push ourselves into the chaos of unknowing. We must push ourselves into the chaos of uncertainty, because if we don't, we will never stumble upon those brief moments of ecstasy, where you see that world before that explosion, before everything oversaturated your experience. You see the beauty, the color of life. And if we don't strive to understand that impossibility, the impossibility of understanding life, then we stop. We do nothing. And you can't fake yourself out of that. You can't get yourself out of that. There's no other way to just keep going. And so you keep going. And so you go on, finding beauty in certain moments and finding dread in others. And so I go on, teaching myself the ways of my childhood, relearning to see magic and appreciate the colors, to see life as it is, impossible to understand.